This is Representative Stephen Horsford. I don't know where he comes from. He is in the, right now, in the Ways and Means Committee hearing, U.S. Trade Representative Greer, right? And he is testifying about the tariffs. Why Trump has imposed on the entire world these exorbitant tariffs. And while he's testifying to that effect, Trump tweets out that actually we're putting in a moratorium on all the tariffs that are not against China. We're taking China's to 125. We're going to just do 10% for everybody for the next 90 days and then maybe go back. Like, there's such an intense lack of planning associated with this, aside from, of course, there's also an intense lack of agenda. But here is Horsford to Greer.
Mr. Trade Representative, are you aware that the tariffs have been paused?
I am, yes.
When were you made aware of that?
Well, I understood the decision was made a few minutes ago.
Sitting here.
And under discussion.
Sitting here, under discussion. So did you know that this was under discussion, and why did you not include that as part of your opening remarks?
So typically what I don't do is divulge the contents of my discussions with
What are the
President
details of the pause?
Well, my understanding is that because so many countries have decided not to retaliate, we're going to have about 90 days.
No, excuse me? China increased their tariffs on the United States. Trump blinked.
What's the blink, sir?
What do you know about this pause? What are the details of it?
No, pause it for a second. Listen. The reason why we're not doing tariffs is because they didn't respond to the tariffs. So the reason why I'm not going to sanction you is because you didn't sanction us back. And so everything we just did was just to see. It was a test. It was a test. It was a test. It's like a test. Like when you're dating somebody. Do you want to see if this person really cares about you or not? So you pretend like it's your birthday and see if they bring you a present. If they bring you a present, then you say, yes, good job, but it's not my birthday, so you don't have to give me that present. Go ahead.
China increased their tariffs on the United States. Trump blinked.
What's the blink, sir?
What do you know about this pause? What are the details of it?
Well, the details, as I understand it, is that China continues to retaliate. Other countries didn't retaliate. The president 2 or 3 days ago said we wanted to negotiate with those countries that asked for meetings. That's what we're doing.
What are the details? How long is the pause? How many days? How many weeks?
I understand it's 90 days. I haven't spoken to the president since I've been in this
So the trade representative hasn't spoken to the president of the United States about a global reordering of trade.
Yes, I have. I've just been in the hearing with you.
But yet he announced it on a tweet. WTF? Who's in charge?
The President of the United States is in charge.
And what do you know about those details?
Well, as I mentioned...
it looks like your boss just pulled the rug out from under you and paused the tariffs, the taxes on the American people. There's no strategy. You just found out 3 seconds ago sitting here. We saw you.
We've been discussing a variety of...
If you came here knowing that you were going to be turned off, that these tariffs were going to be turned off, why didn't you include that in your opening statement? Why didn't you reference that as part of your testimony?
Well, I don't disclose my conversations with
Surprise!
the president. These were specific questions we asked you all along. What's the strategy? These are real consequences for the American people. And small businesses. I had a group of small businesses in my office.
Just make a quick point. Like, if he can't divulge what he's talking about with the president vis-a-vis trade, why is he there?
Also, of course he can. Of course he can. Like, the fact, I mean, it's almost as if Trump wanted to humiliate him. The fact that he announced it on Twitter, like without telling him that he was going to announce it. Like the guy could have said, there's going to be an announcement in half an hour, so everybody hold your horses.
Wait, who's Greer?
Greer?
Do I know that guy?
You know, his voice sounds a little mousy. The president is in charge. It sounds a little mousy, doesn't he? We need somebody bigger, somebody tougher, like a coal miner. But unfortunately, they don't want to have a better job. They don't want to work in an office. It's too bad, because a lot of those coal miners look like big, strong guys who could be a trade representative. But they love sucking in the coal, as I call it. That's what I call it, sucking in the coal. Happy birthday. Here's your mesothelioma. Go ahead.
Office earlier today talking about the impacts of these tariffs on aluminum and steel. This is amateur hour, and it needs to stop. What does this even mean for your negotiating strategy? How are you in charge of negotiation if the president is tweeting about this from wherever the hell he is?
The president was elected, and he runs the trade policy, and I advise him and execute his
Who
trade
executes
policy.
the trade policy?
I execute the trade
Did
policy.
you
The
know that
president.
this was happening?
We have been discussing all kinds
And
of...
there's another member of the cabinet, Bessent, who just canceled coming to the Hill to avoid talking about the market because it's in turmoil. This in just days because there was no strategy.
You know, strategy, smermashadity. You gotta be nimble. You gotta be quick on your feet.
Strategy's right in my brain, okay?
Did I tell you that my uncle went to MIT? This is, look, obviously some low-level guy like the head of trade in the country, you can't expect him to know that this universal, massive, remember, they were bragging that we got phone calls from 50 countries. They imposed trade tariffs on, what was it, like 100 and some odd countries? You cannot expect this guy to know that they completely reversed on all of these except for China. Because he's low level. He's just the guy in charge of trade. What we need to do is hear from the Secretary of Treasury so that we can get the story straight. Because he's the one who knows what's going on. Let's hear from Scott Bessent.
Secretary Bessent, can you explain more of the decision making on what feels like a reversal here? I mean, these went into effect less than 15 hours ago, these tariffs. Why the pause now? What led to that?
No. Again, President Trump created maximum negotiating leverage for himself, and which tariffs went into effect 15 hours ago? The ones that we have lowered went into effect a week ago. They were announced a week ago, and we've just been overwhelmed by the response from mostly our allies who want to come and negotiate in good faith. So.
Secretary Bessent.
So, in other words, we weren't prepared for anybody to come back and negotiate. There's just no way in which this looks good. And again, we still don't understand. Like, the 10% tariffs, I guess they're now 10% tariffs, are just going to be inflationary. They're not going to spur any U.S. manufacturing. Like, what is the goal of this? We don't know. We don't have any clue. It's completely nuts. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.